In Little Havana in Miami, his death is being greeted as we see here. Take a look. There are smiles. There is cheering by Cuban exiles who escaped his regime. CNN's Chris Moody and Alejandro Fonseca are joining us live. Chris, I wanted to start with you. I'm sure that you've talked to some of these people in the crowd. I will point out that U.S. Representative Ileana Ros-Lehtinen, who was born in Havana, Cuba, and represents Florida's 27th district there, said that what we're seeing isn't necessarily a celebration of his death, but, quote, an opportunity to begin a new chapter of freedom. Are you seeing that, or are you seeing people seem to celebrate the fact that Fidel Castro is dead this morning?
I think that's a nice thing that a politician would say, but there are people in this crowd who are explicitly and absolutely celebrating the death of Fidel Castro. This is a day, even if they know that it might not spark change right now or immediately, a day that they have been waiting for a very long time. So they have been out here in the streets all night. The sun is just now rising, and people are still dancing in the streets and will probably continue throughout the day here in the heart of this part of Miami where so many Cuban exiles live.
Alejandro, what are you hearing from friends and family members?
I think that what I'm hearing from friends and family, at least, so my in-laws were originally from Cuba, and they kind of downplayed it, but at the same time, you could tell that this is a big moment for them. They fled their home, they had to start anew here, and it's just bittersweet to know that the man who forced them out, essentially, is passed on now. And then in speaking with friends, I had a friend of mine today last night, was fighting back tears, knowing just what his family lost following the revolution, what could have been. Now, at this point, it's just a what if for a lot of people, and we're just wondering at this point how the community moves forward and if they can really patch up those open wounds that have been festering for so long.
Okay, so Alejandro, that's what I wanted to ask you about as we look forward. What is the expectation of people like your wife, of your in-laws, as they try to craft in their minds what is forthcoming now that Fidel Castro has died? What is their expectation for Cuba and for U.S. relations, and for them particularly who may still have family in Cuba?
Yeah, Christy, I think there's been talk for years of just having open dialogue, freedom of expression. We have the women in white who are constantly out on the streets vouching for their husbands or for their loved ones who have been wrongfully imprisoned. They're political prisoners at this point, and they're just hoping that at least that can move forward and we can start to do that. Just the basic of needs and privileges that we have here in the States that they want for their family across the Bay.
All right, Chris Moody and Alejandro Fonseca, thank you both for joining us. I'm sure we'll talk to you again as well.